Greetings, this is Olga Tamana, and I welcome everyone who has joined us. We continue working at Ukraine Media Center to inform. It's the 140th day of the full-scale invasion of the Russian aggressor to our soil, and we'll talk about the Air Force and the situation at the front line of the war. We have Yuriy Ignat, the spokesperson for the Air Force Command of Ukraine's armed forces. Hello, Yuri. Can you hear us? Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Greetings. Yuri, so what's the situation in our skies at the moment? If you could tell us, please. So you know that an air raid alert has been declared. Recently there are certain grounds for that. So, well, daily we have the sirens. And daily the enemy uses different types of rockets. We can talk about that. But I would like to start with a different thing. The Russian lying propaganda, is acting as usual. Lieutenant General Ilyashenko, who is the speaker of the Minister of Defense of Russia, about noon, already has hit down 4 Ukrainian airplanes. But once again, don't believe this lying Russian propaganda, the TV channels or social media. All our airplanes are where they are, on combat duty. So once again, I would like to reiterate, please don't believe the stories the Russians are saying. So our aviation is on combat duty every day. They conduct airstrikes on air force on the positions of the occupiers, and the most important targets at the moment are the logistics centers of the enemy, ammo depots. You can see in the social networks, in the media, how artillery is effective, and it's supported by the aviation. As of yesterday, and from the moment of the full-scale invasion, we can say that 1,700 airstrikes have been conducted. This includes the rotary wing and fixed-wing aircrafts. They destroy the equipment and the depots of the enemy. So, of course, we have the fighters patrolling our airspace, and of course, the anti-aircraft troops are also on combat duty. They are covering our airspace. So there are S-300 and Books, SAMs, protecting the skies. So we've been saying already that in the 2.5 months recently the enemy is not entering the Ukrainian airspace. So they changed the tactics. They are now acting from the territory of Belarus, from the Black Sea and Caspian Sea. They use cruise missiles, both Soviet-produced and more modern Russian-produced, and they hit civilian objects, civilian targets with these cruise missiles. When we talk about the rocketry they use, first and foremost, they mostly switched to Soviet-produced rockets. Because, well, there have been conversations that the stock of high-tech missiles such as Kha-101, Kalibr, or Iskander, that the stocks are depleted. Also, the enemy probably is saving on these both rare and expensive rockets. And they just want to use it to keep threatening everyone. That's why we see rockets such as Ha-22, Ha-59, Ha-31. They are used more and more frequently by the enemy. Yeah, please continue. So the rockets, I mean, our anti-aircraft and anti-rocket defense is doing everything possible. So I can reassure you that our anti-rocket troops and aviation is doing everything possible to take down these missiles. But well, taking down the cruise missile is not easy. Most often, they take down missiles running at 900 kilometers per hour. These are caliber missiles and Ha-101. I mean, these rockets we can realistically intercept with the current weapons we have, with both man-portable systems and SAMs like Buk. We have about 10 cases when Ukrainian fighter jets have intercepted rockets, and this includes good cooperation of the tracking units and the pilots. It's much more complicated to take down rockets such as Tochka-U or Iskander, because, well, Iskander is a modern tactical unit, and Tochka-U is a Soviet ballistic missile, and the speed is about 4,000 kilometers per hour. And Iskander's speed is over 8,000 kilometers per hour. That target is very, very complicated. So unfortunately, we cannot intercept those targets as effectively as we wanted. Also, rockets such as Ha-22, the one which has hit the Kremenchuk Mall, and rockets such as Ha-31, they also are high speed, such as Onyx anti-ship missile. Their speed is over 3,000 kilometers per hour, and they are very complicated targets for our anti-rocket troops. So, of course, when the situation allows, we try to take them down, but it's a very complicated target for current weapons we have, because most weapons we have, they were produced in the 80s and developed in the 60s. That's both about the fighters and the SAMs. So, in brief, this is the current situation. But we do have 217 enemy aircraft and airplanes, 188 enemy helicopters, and I think 665 operational and tactical level UAVs. All of these were taken down. So, Colonel, as HIMARS and other high-precision weapons are now in our front lines, has this strategy for aviation use changed? Well, the use of aviation jointly with artillery is having compound effect. So of course we'll be doing everything to ensure we have all the benefits of this cooperation. Any artillery, even high quality, good artillery as HIMARS and the howitzers, they need good targeting, they need good aerial reconnaissance, well, targeting should be done by the UAVs, which can do this well. So, unmanned aviation is very, very useful for this artillery. We see that in Western countries now there are trainings for Ukrainian troops. Are Ukrainian pilots being trained? And if we can talk about this, can we expect some aviation supplies? Well, our pilots often are in our partner countries, in Western countries, in the US, where they study NATO standards, where they study some tactical tricks. So it's CPD in some way, but we're not talking about massive training of the pilots, because it's not an easy process. First of all, we need to figure out which aircraft should be studied, whether it's F-15, X-16, F-16, or something else, and then we have to figure out where will the training happen, and it takes lots of details that still need to be clarified. When we talk about the anti-rocket systems, some experts are saying that while Ukrainian SAMs have increased its effectiveness, why do you think that is? Is it that our units are adapting to the types of rockets? Oh, apologies. Yeah, now I can hear you again. If you could repeat the question. Some experts were saying that even though, as you say, it's difficult to intercept high accuracy missiles, they say that the effectiveness of Ukrainian SAMs is increasing. Why? I understand the question. So the effectiveness of Ukrainian SAMs, well, is because the troops get more and more experience. And every day in this war is giving them huge experience. So get more and more professional, they master the equipment, they have better and better. I would like to remind that our partners have provided quite a lot of manpads and also some Soviet produced SAMs like S-300 from Slovakia. We also have trophy equipment like the Panzer unit, which has been announced recently. I would like to remind that Ukraine is now in the focus of attention of all over the world, and Russia, as the aggressor country, has applied all possible types of weaponry they have, the missiles. And nowhere in the world a country faced this situation. There has never been that wide range of cruise missiles attacks in the world. So we are fighting on their own. We are supported, of course, but we are fighting ourselves, and we have to counter all this weaponry. We've lost sound. Yuri, are you with us? Can you hear me? Yes. Yes, we have. Yeah. So we are doing our best to make sure we can really counter these attacks. And well, the professionalism and the morale of our soldiers and officers is going up, and it takes some ingenuity. There are some non-standard tricks applied, and this helps increasing the effectiveness. Dear colleagues, if you have any questions, please use the microphone. Hello, Ukrinform. My question is, can you tell us about the number of Russian aircraft in Belarus, and are Ukrainian SAM capabilities adequate to destroy it? First of all, we cannot destroy it over the territory of Belarus. That is quite far for us. Russian aviation is, working outside of Ukraine. They are over Belarus, over the Snake Island, and they are on constant patrol, 24/7. They change airfields from one airfield to others. For example, we know that there are MiG-130 in Crimea. There are also these Tu-22s, which are used to launch the rockets, but they rotate the aircraft among different airfields. They are using all the airfields of Belarus. So aviation is fast and powerful, and well, it takes only like dozens of minutes to relocate these aircraft. But we can only destroy them when they are within the intercept area of our SAMs. But even the most powerful units which we have, the S-300, their range is 70 kilometers. So, well, we have them in Ukraine. So, unfortunately, we can't reach far because we don't have them on the border. So, we will be able to take down the planes which enter Ukrainian airspace, but we cannot get them over Belarus because we don't have these long-range systems. The Patriot system, which has been discussed for a long time, it can reach targets at 160 kilometers. But well, yeah, this was Yuriy Ignat, the spokesperson of the Air Force Command. Thanks for finding time and joining us. Follow our further announcements, and we are now